Stay alert, spoilers. Today we are recapping drama crime action movie, Charm City Kings. Welcome to Magician Recaps Explains. Let's begin our story. 14-year-old boy, Mouse, Jahi Winston, stays in Baltimore, Maryland, with his single mother and younger sister. Mouse is very interested in motorbikes, a big part of the lifestyle in Baltimore, but his mother hates it, as his older brother, Strobe, died in a biking accident at the age of 17. Taking place once a week during the summer, there is an event popularly called The Ride, where people bring out their motorbikes and do stunts and tricks in the street. Mouse's mother forbids him from attending, but he sneaks out anyway to attend with his friends, Lamont, Donielle Hansley, and swear to God, Kezia Curtis. One day, Mouse buys a rundown four-wheel motorbike from a local gangster. Due to his age, he is detained by police while driving it home. He is taken over by police detective, Rivers, Will Catlett, who has known Mouse from a young age. Through a police outreach program with his school, Rivers informs Mouse he can come to him for advice anytime and caution him to stay out of trouble, but Mouse ignores him. Sometimes later, Mouse's mother leaves his sister in care of him, and not to go out. After she left, Lamont and Swear to God come to call Mouse, so that they can move out. His sister tells him to give her money if she would call her mother and informs her about him going out. Mouse reluctantly pays her and moves out to take his motorcycle. His friends tell him about a new girl who has come to the hood, making them to head straight to the girl's house. They meet the new girl down the street. She introduces herself as Nikki Chandler DuPont, who is interested in photography. Mouse invites her to come along to the ride, but the sweet moment was cut short with the appearance of her grandmother, who chased the boys away. On the faithful day of the culture, Mouse wears his late brother's t-shirt and again bribes his sister in order to attend. Lamont and Swear to God are already there. Mouse attempts a trick on his four-wheeler. Everything seems cool until he crashes, wounding his teeth. Nikki was there and took a picture of him. Just then, they seize a biker gang, known as the Midnight Clique, coming to display. Mouse is so obsessed with the clique and wishes to join them soon. The police interrupt and tells them to dissolve. One of the bikers is a local legend, called Black's Meek Mill, who recently got out of prison. He sees the shirt Mouse is wearing but says nothing and rolls out. Jamal Chino breaks a police car windshield, leading them and the police on a high-speed chase. But after many stunts and trick, they eventually escape. Later that night, Mouse, Lamont, and Swear to God visit the Midnight Clique's hangout spot later that night, but they tell them to leave. Mouse tried to act tough but his motorcycle disappoints him by failing to even start. The clique leaves, and a disappointed Mouse later meets Blacks outside a bike repair shop, where he works as part of his parole program. Black says he knew Mouse's brother, Strobe, a member of the clique. He sends Mouse into the shop and offers him a box of scraps to build his own bike. Mouse asks if Blacks would provide Lamont and Swear to God with the same opportunity, and Blacks agrees. After impressed with his loyalty, Mouse starts ditching his job at the local animal hospital to spend most of his time at Black's auto shop with his friends. Sometime later, Lamont and Swear to God got tired and stopped going to Black's auto shop. One day, Blacks asks Mouse to send a rebuilt high-end bike to a customer across town. Mouse instead drives it to Nikki's house and picks her up for a joyride. They are approached by Derek, an old friend of Stroh's, who asks for a quick ride around the block. Unable to say no, Mouse gives him the bike, and Derek takes off and never came back again. Unable to face Blacks, Mouse goes to Lamont and Swear to God for help, who inform him that Derek is notorious for chopping up bikes and selling the parts. Later on, the three confront Derek at his chop shop to ask for the bike back. He tells them the bike is gone and that's what happens in the street. With their resistance, he pulls a gun on them and tells them to leave. Just in time, the Midnight Clique arrive, led by Blacks, who knows everything. He warns Derek to never steal from them again. Jamal wants to kick him but Blacks says they are done. As if everything is ended, Lamont, whom Derek had pulled the gun on beforehand, attacks a defenseless Derek and nearly beats him to death, before a clique member holds him back. Jamal later knocks him out. Jamal later sees Lamont and asks him to meet them later for an assignment. The next day, Blacks, upset with Mouse, informs him he is not allowed to work on building his bike anymore and will have to work hard around the shop to earn his respect back. In the house, Mouse hears his mother crying and figured out it's because of bills. She asks him about why he has been ditching the animal hospital, but out of sadness, she tells him to do whatever he likes. Later at Blacks' shop, Mouse, who is concerned about his mother falling behind on bills, instead asks Blacks to get him on the auto shop payroll after seeing Lamont and Swear to God being taken already. Blax refuses. Mouse quits working at the shop and he, Lamont, and swear to God join the Midnight Clique's drug delivery operation. The clique loans them brand new bikes and pays them well. As time goes on, Nikki approaches Mouse in a park to give him a picture she took of him, but he acts uninterested, riding off with another girl. Meanwhile, Rivers keeps stalking him around town and pestering him about his moves. Mouse eventually tells him to leave him alone, of which Rivers agrees. Later on, Rivers pays a visit to Blax in his shop and warns him to stay away from Mouse, considering him a bad influence on the boy. Mouse's mother finds his hidden stash of $100 bills, and after he refuses to tell her where he got it from, she slaps him, and for the second time, Mouse holds her hand, preventing her for the second time. She kicks him out of the house. Mouse moves in with Swear to God. Lamont brings out a plan to rob a local convenience store to prove their worth to the clique. Mouse and a reluctant Swear to God agree. They ask the clique for a gun from Queen, who gives them one, but Jamal insists she give it to Mouse. Blax notices and demands that the clique leave Mouse alone, but Jamal refuses and walks out of her beside Mouse as a skilled writer for their operation. Blax calls Mouse to the garage to confront him, but Mouse notices something is wrong with Blax's dog and insists they go to the vet immediately. The vet explains that surgery would likely cause more complications for the dog, who is old, but ultimately leaves the decision of either surgery or euthanasia to Blax. Blax agrees to put his dog down, but only if Mouse does it, which he successfully does. Blax then explains the truth of Stroh's death to Mouse. Blax offered him a job running drugs, and Stroh died during the job. An upset Mouse leaves. As Mouse and his friends prepare the convenience store robbery, Lamont takes the gun, but Mouse insists they do not fire it. The robbery goes wrong when Lamont accidentally fires a shot and the owner's wife returns fire, killing Swear to God. Mouse and Lamont flee separately as Detective Rivers, who had been tailing Mouse, gives chase. Mouse heads to Blax's shop and explains everything as Rivers pulls up to the shop with backup. Blax tells Mouse to change into a worker's uniform and asks him to promise that he would do good and avoid the street gangs. Mouse promises. Blax takes the fall for the robbery. Rivers, despite knowing the truth, arrests Blax. Rivers gives Mouse a ride home, and he tells him not to let Blax's sacrifice go waste, as he promised to take care of the police stuff. Mouse later reconciles with his mother. A year later, Mouse has returned to working at the vet and adopted Blax's dog. Here he connects with Nikki and apologizes for his past behavior. She agrees to meet up with him again. Mouse runs into Lamont on the street, but they have little to say to each other, having drifted apart. Mouse returns home to surprise his mother with fresh groceries. That's all for this movie. Like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos.